Well, good morning. Today is Saturday, December 14th. It's time to do our Weight Watchers weekly highlight meeting. Today it's about season's eatings. I jumped the gun. I had a week of season's eatings because I was very discouraged because I did some cookies. I made some cookies for Christmas, and I've told you store-bought cookies do not tempt me. Homemade cookies tempt me. I should have known better, but I did kind of go a little bit crazy, and so yesterday I just was feeling so dejected. So I turned to food, my old friend, not a good friend, but my old friend, and I went out to eat, and so I knew I was going to have a sodium gain, but I also knew I was going to have a gain. But now I can kick myself because I gained 1.8, which I really thought I was going to gain 3 pounds. So that brings my weight back up to 228.5 with a total loss of 75.7. I at one point was, I think, 81 pounds. Let me check. Because, yeah, 81.1 was my highest loss I've had so far. So I still got to lose about 5.4 to get back there. But I'll do it. I know I will. I don't have a doubt. But anyway, let's get into the card called Season's Eatings. Eat, drink, and be healthy. Sounds simple. Yeah, it does. We might hit the holiday party circuit with good intentions, but even the best laid plans can be thrown off track by unexpected events. I went Christmas shopping the other day, and I had every intention. I brought a banana that I was going to snack on, and I snacked on the banana between stores, but I only brought one banana. And I shopped a little longer than I thought I was going to shop. And when I was at one of the registers, they had payday candy bars, and so I grabbed a payday candy bar, which was 18 points because it was a king size. And I ate the whole thing. I didn't have to eat the whole thing, but I ate the whole thing. So, like I said, I thought I'd have a bigger gain. I have to really be on track for next week so I know I do better. This is what you should do. Keep these tips close to conquer the season and have fun during any gotcha moments. I hit some gotcha moments this week. Number 1, surprise, you get there and there's an open bar. Decide if drinks being there free really changes how many you want. If it does, look for lower Smart Point mixers. I am not a drinker, so that serves me well. That I know that I can't have that first drink because the first drink leads to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth until I'm obnoxious. So I know I can't even take the first drink. So surprise, the open bar is not going to tempt me. Number 2, you don't want to track everything? That's okay. There's no need for perfection. Stay aware of your portion sizes using the hand method in your program book and resolve to track as usual at your next meal. Like the size of your fist, your hand, your fingers, just remind yourself of that. Joan's Pointed Plate pointed it out, so you can go over to her channel for her review, and she'll show you the different things. But you know pretty much. I mean, we're all tempted to get a little generous, but if you've done it long enough, you really do know. Number 3, use up your Smart Points on appetizers. Start with the weeklies. If you don't have any, keep an eye on 0-point foods and lower Smart Points options during dinner. A lot of times the appetizers are vegetables and fruits and things like that. Shrimp, which I don't like, but it's just the extra stuff that you put on your plate. I know the cheeses can be pretty high, but they really cut them kind of small, so you can have a couple pieces of cheese. And really, you don't need to have a whole handful of cheese. 2 or 3 cubes are more than enough. Says Sandy, who loves cheese and would eat like a handful of cheese at a time. Number 4, the host insists you try everything. Ask which dishes are her absolute favorites. Then take small portions and don't worry about cleaning your plate. I was born of the generation that there's poor people around the world that weren't eating, so you had to finish everything on your plate. And even as a child, I wondered, well, just because I don't eat it doesn't mean they're going to get it. They're not anywhere nearby. But we were taught not to leave anything on your plate. I sometimes try to leave something on my plate, but I'll be honest with you, I can't. No matter how small of a portion I put on my plate, my mindset is that, I can't waste food. So find out what are the favorites. put a little bit on your plate and then try to share it with your husband or your wife or something, or someone that might want it too. Like, you can go up to them and say, oh, try this. This is really good. Pretend like you already tried it. And then they'll eat yours, and then they'll say, oh, yeah, that was good, or oh, I didn't like that. Well, that's funny. I liked it. They'll never know. Number 5, everyone else orders dessert. See if a friend will share with you or ask for fruit. Okay, I'm never going to ask for fruit for a dessert when I go to a restaurant. They can tell me I should do that, and I know I should do it, but I'm not going to do that. I would rather skip the dessert than just ask for some fruit. That's just who I am. But anyway, she had a quote. I thought she had a quote. Oh, yeah, this is the quote that she had today. It's not a food event, it's an event with food. Unless you're going to a taste testing, if you're just going to a regular party, you know there's going to be food, but try to enjoy the people that are in your surroundings and concentrate more on having a good time with them rather than concentrate on what's at the food tables. And they tell you that you try these 5 Ds: determine, delay, distance, distract, and decide. So you want to determine if this is something that you really want. Really determine that, is this something I really want? And if it really is something you want, delay it. Tell yourself, yes, I really do want this, but I'm going to wait 10 minutes before I'm going to eat it. And then give yourself some distance away from it so that you're not standing there tempted by it. Walk around the room, talk to other people, walk away from it. Distract yourself. Try to think, you know what, I'm going to go talk to so-and-so. She talks a long time. That'll distract me for quite a bit of time. And distract yourself from all of it. And then decide, did you really want it? And if you really did want it, go back, get a small portion, and then walk away. Don't stand there being tempted by other stuff too. Because remember, even if you don't have a plan, you still have a plan. Because if you go in there and say, I'm just going to eat what I want, that's your plan. Don't feel guilty about it. But just know that you can't have that plan every day of your life. If this is for one day, you're going to say, you know what, the heck with it. I'm going to enjoy all the foods I want. It only comes once a year. I'm going to have a good time. Go with it. Eat without guilt, but don't eat to the point that you're sick or that you've overeaten. Eat enough that you can satisfy the tendency the urge that you want that particular item, and just satisfy that taste for that particular item, and then move on. Always, always, always plan ahead. With a little careful thought and planning, you can make the choices that you desire. Sometimes just do a walk around the room and see what kind of appetizers they have, find out what kind of food they're serving, see what kind of desserts they are. Figure out in your mind, is this what I want? This is what I want this, I want this, I want this. I don't need that, I can get that anytime. And then go back through the line. Don't walk through the line and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some of that. If you've already walked through the line, you already know, or walked around it, you already know what's coming, and so you can make smarter choices. Always visualize what you want to do at the event before you arrive. I want to go and see certain people that I haven't seen before. I want to try certain people's food because I know that I like their food and I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to really visualize that I'm going to have a good time because I've decided ahead of time what's going to be my concentration. Is it going to be concentrating on the food, or is it going to be concentrating on the atmosphere around me, or just the people? Just make a plan. So follow these 3 steps. So you limit your alcohol 80-20. So 80% of it's going to be goodies and 20% is going to be alcohol, because alcohol is really, if you tend to drink too much, a lot of times you tend to nibble on stuff too much too. So you want to balance it out a little bit. Number 2 is pick out your favorites. Don't deprive yourself, because you know what? You're going to binge when you get home on something that you don't really want, when you really would have rather had whatever it was at that particular party. So just take just a small amount, because let's face it, after the 3rd or 4th bite, you know what it tastes like. It's not going to change the taste. The first couple bites are really going to satisfy any urges that you had for that particular item. And number 3, focus on enjoying the moment and not on the eating. Always focus on who you're talking to, why you're there, the love in the room. All of that stuff is more important than the food. The food is a very integral part of any party, which is true. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a good time with the people that are there too. Don't starve yourself before you go. All 3 plans have plenty of 0-point foods. Eat a 0-point breakfast, eat a 0-point lunch. If it's just like an after party, eat a 0-point dinner. Then you can enjoy all the little snicky snacks at the party. If it's at the dinner, if you've had 0 points for the first 2 meals, then you're pretty much covered for what you're going to have at the party. Eat a little piece of fruit or have a hard-boiled egg, have some yogurt or a low-point snack before you go. Even if you bring it in your car and you eat it just before you get out of the car, before you go into the room, that's going to help you a lot too. Always offer to bring a favorite appetizer or a dessert that'll fit into your plan, so that at least you know you got at least one go-to food. Even if they're having like a buffet, bring a dish that you know that you're going to like, that's low point, that you're not going to feel guilty about having. And you don't need to tell anybody it's a Weight Watcher food. Unless you say, oh, I found this recipe on Weight Watchers, nobody's going to really ask, and they're really not going to care. And let's face it, most of the recipes that they show on Weight Watchers, they don't look like a Weight Watcher menu. They look like something that everybody would eat in an everyday life. Set a goal and find a goal that is achievable during this time of year. My goal for the rest of the December is just to stay on track, not to have a huge gain. I know I had a gain today, but just to concentrate on getting ready for the new year. Because 2020, I have decided, and I've decided this a lot in the past, but this time I've really decided. I'm really making an effort. This is going to be my year. I'm not only going to hit Wonderland, I'm going to hit goal. I have every intention of doing that. In July, I plan on going to Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse and Deadwood and Minnesota and Lexington, Michigan. My whole month of July, I have vacation packed. I want to be at a healthy weight, and I want to have fun enjoying it and being able to move around and keep up with everybody. That's my goal. Always get some activity in, because any little bit of activity is better than no activity. With your shopping, you're getting a lot of activity in, because when you're standing in place, try to rock, try to do leg lifts, do whatever to keep moving. And you're moving from store to store, so you are getting activity in this time of year anyhow. Always, always, always get your rest. Spend some time relaxing. I like to set some time aside in the morning when I first wake up to say my prayers, thank the Lord for my day that I'm going to have coming, thank Him for letting me wake up that morning, and just relaxing. And a lot of times, sometime during the day, I'll just sit in the chair and just relax. When I'm standing in line at this time of year, I say some prayers. I'm in line, there's nothing else to do. No, that sounds like it's just like a half-ass. Ooh, talk about prayers and I say half-ass. But anyway, it's just, it's something that makes you more aware of yourself. Be aware of how much blessings that you have, that you're able to stand in that line to purchase gifts for some people, because some people don't have that luxury. Limit your leftovers at your parties. If you need to, make your home a safe haven. Put the stuff that's going to tempt you out of sight, out of mind. Put it farther away. Put healthier snacks in front of it, so that if you have to move the healthy snacks, so you're conscious of the fact that you're moving something. Send your guests home with some leftovers. If you need to, throw them away. I usually just put them in little freezer packs and label them and put them in the freezer, because then I can enjoy them another time. I have figured out the points when I put them in, so I'll put what it is and how many points it is, so that when I want to grab it later on in the year, I'll have it. And don't make your house or your home a difficult place to maintain your weight and maintain your control. If you're going to go crazy eating fudge, make your fudge and send it out right away. Don't leave it laying around. If you're going to have cookies, like me, put them in the freezer. Give them away. Put little gift boxes. Give them to neighbors. Do something, but get them out of the house. But always enjoy the season. Really enjoy the season. And just know that the new year is just like, today's the 14th? 18 days away. So enjoy the last 17 or 18 days of 2019. And look forward to 2020, because you know what? It has to get better. It just has to get better. The recipe today is for a roasted beet and vegetable salad. I have to tell you, it looks pretty bad. But I looked at all the ingredients, and I like all the ingredients that are in it. So I'll leave it on the recipe card at the end here, so that you can get a look at it and see what it's something that you might like. But I don't know if my new plan for 2020 is I'm going to do a menu, and I'm going to follow a menu at least for the month of January, and hopefully that'll get me back on track, because I think I just need 4 solid weeks of just staying completely on program for 4 solid weeks. That'll get my mindset back, and I'm going to do it a week at a time. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and if you think somebody might like to see this video, give it a share. So thanks so much for watching.